Hi guys, I'm Kelly with fitnessblender.com and I'm very happy to be back. Today I have a Pilates workout for you. I've included your warm-up and your cool-down. You don't need any equipment for this routine at all, and I'm going to show a bunch of different modifications all the way through so that you can make it work for wherever your fitness level, wherever you might be today. Let's go ahead and get started with our warm-up. Alright guys, for a warm-up we're doing 30-second intervals, no rest in between, a nice smooth segue of nice low-impact exercises to get the muscles and the body ready to work. So we're going to start with marching in place. And like I said, we're going to show modifications all the way through. So if you want to, your feet don't even have to leave the ground. We're just talking about just gently starting to move. So you're asking your body, where am I tight? Where do I need a little extra love, a little extra movement? Listen to your body. So if you feel like you ever need an extra warm-up, a little extra movement, go for it. Otherwise, get your arms swinging. And we're going to slowly bring our heart rate up as we go through this. So next up, we have a side step chest opener. So we're going to take this and go from side to side, opening up the arms, side to side as you get more comfortable. If you're feeling stronger today, you can kind of start to sink into a deeper side step, but we're still really early, so if the muscles are cold, just stay nice and easy for these first 5 minutes. So a lot of things we're doing here are mimicking what we're going to be doing in our actual routine, which is very smart. You want your warm-up to look kind of like your workout, like a way easier version of your workout. All right, next up we're going to be doing warrior steps. So we're going to be bringing our arms up and stretching just briefly up, and really we're just getting that leg out behind us, getting a little bit of core stretch, a little bit of upper body stretch. So not pushing too deep into anything yet, just kind of feeling good here. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Alright, so next up we're going to be doing a single leg walker. So we're just going to be nice and easy, just going forward and back. So getting your arms in this motion, so you're getting your upper body warmed up as well. And again, we're just kind of moving gently through these ranges of motion. So this requires a little bit of balance. If you take big steps, if you want to make it easier, just stay nice and close to that planted leg. If you want to make it bigger, it makes it harder on your balance, harder on your core, and that's fine too. Pick your difficulty level. It might be different every single day. You have to ask yourself, where am I at? Every time you go to work out, it might be different. So we're going to switch sides. This time, make sure you're alternating the arm movement as well as the upper body movement. And again, you can keep it nice and small if you want to until you start to feel more confident, and then you can start to add more distance on that step. So I highly recommend turning on some music that you love. I know that always helps me push through a good workout. Helps ease the pain. All right, next up, 3 marches plus a knee. So 1, 2, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, up. So you only have to go as high as you're comfortable. Don't ever cause yourself any pain, but be open to pushing yourself. Do be open to the question, can I push myself a little harder throughout this routine? So you can always, you don't need any equipment for this, but you can always add ankle weights or resistance bands. You can cut out the breaks. Alright, so next up we're doing pivot pulls, so feet together. We're stepping, opening up the torso here, and the chest, and the hips. So just stretching from one side, and then back up front. Keep your core nice and tight. So just a few more exercises in our warm-up here. Alright, next up we're doing a squat plus a side leg lift. So as shallow or as deep as you need, down, weight in the heels, and lift up. So if your balance is bad or if you don't have that strength yet to go up, just go down in that shallow squat and then just lift up on one foot. So again, make it work for you. Choose your difficulty level and just make sure that you're pushing yourself, pushing your own fitness level. And staying tuned in. It works better if you stay tuned in and do all of this mindfully. It's harder that way, but that's the point. All right, next up is the up and over side lunge, so arms overhead, and then we're just coming down for a really shallow side lunge. So, getting that whole body in there. This should feel good. And you can pick up the pace if you like. If you start to feel more comfortable, your muscles are feeling warm, pick up the pace. We have about 10 seconds left of these. There's 5 seconds. 3. All right, so next up is jumping jacks. So you can go full explosion here, or just cut out the jumps and step side to side. So pick your poison. Just make sure that you're keeping a nice, clean, full range of motion. So if your jumping jacks look like this, that's not good. You want the full, I'd rather see you do the full thing the right way than do the wrong way faster or with more repetitions. All right, so this is our last few seconds. Okay, so now we're gonna be dropping down the floor and we'll get right into that Pilates routine. So make sure that you've got a soft surface, whether it's an exercise mat or carpet. Just make sure you're not working on a really hard surface. Otherwise, we're going to be doing each of these exercises for 10 repetitions. So we're going to start off with a side leg raise. So you're lying on your side here, one foot bent, one foot straight out. Flex your foot so that you're pulling your toe back at you, and we're going to be lifting. Hold it there for just a second and then slowly lower back down. So there's one. So we're not resting the leg in between these repetitions. You're just hovering right here. So you're never, you can if you need to. If you need a breather, feel free to rest there briefly. Otherwise, this whole time you're kind of in an active hold. So you want to keep your stomach, your core nice and tight. You're holding that leg up there, no swinging, nice and slow, fully intentional. The most painful way, of course, is the most effective way in this situation. So you want to make it count, because you don't want to cheat through the ranges of motion where you're weak. And if you're using momentum, it's easy to get your leg up there, but you're not creating strength through the entire range of motion. So slow and intentional is where it's at. We have just one more here, and slowly lower that back down. So now we're just going to take this leg, fold it, stack it on the other, so your feet are stacked together. We'll be opening up the hips right here. So this counts as 1, so only go as far as you can without rocking your body over, without any pain at all. And again, this is slow and intentional. There's 2, back down. And again, you're not really resting your feet, your knees together there. That leg is always working. So it's just kind of a static hold there at the bottom. And then you want to do kind of a little intentional pause right at the top there, even if it's just for just a split second. Just let it kind of burn, where you're just letting those muscles know what they're doing. Just hold and lower. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And then you're not straining your neck. All right, one more of those, and we're going to switch it up slightly. So we're going to stay in the same position, but we're going to be, instead of lifting straight up from our leg, we're going to be, again, point your toes back up at you, so you're getting a little bit of a calf stretch to this, and you're going to be going back. So not directly away from your leg, but just out and back. So out and back. And again, it's the range of motion is all yours. So it's whatever you can do without pain, whatever you can do without sacrificing your form in the exercise. So just listen to your body and be willing to adjust. There's 5 more of those if you've got it in you. And if you have to, you can always stop early. Like I said, you can always cut out the breaks if you want to make it harder too. You can always add ankle weights or resistance bands. Just a few more here. 1 and 2 more. 1 and there we go. Last one. So now we're going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side of the body. So rolling over. All right, stretch out. So again, toe flexed up towards your body. We're going to be going 1, and that slow and controlled raise back down. Slow hold. This is a good way to see if you have any weakness on one side of the body as well. When we're doing this kind of back to back, if there's a side that tires out early or feels like it struggles more than the other, just take note of that. You want to always work your sides equally, so don't do more on one side than you do on the other. All right, and lower. And that was it. So now we're going to go to this clamshell or hip opener right here. So once you have your feet stacked and you feel comfortable and ready, go ahead and stop or start hinging at the hip there. Again, without opening up your body or rolling over whatever, even if it's just a little tiny range of motion, you're going to feel it and you're going to know, and whatever you can do is enough. So don't feel bad or like you have to push further than you're actually capable of pushing. It's more important that you do it right. It's our halfway point. Just a few more repetitions. All right, now we're going to be going back to the 90-degree, or the lift behind the body. So here's straight, and we're going up and back. There's one. So it's just like the raise, except for you're going behind your body a little bit. And if you need to counter with your weight from your arm right here, you can, in order to keep yourself from tipping over. It's a little bit of a cheat that allows you to target the glutes in a different way. All right, keep it going. That's the halfway point right there. All right, two more. There's our last one right here. All right, so now we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to do a reverse leg lift. So on all fours, keeping your back nice and flat, going to be taking one leg up, and again, heel flex, and you're going to be pushing up, and you're doing all this work through your glute. You want to keep your core and your back nice and strong. But inhale as you lower your leg, and then exhale during the hard part as you push back up, as you push back through. So inhale, bring your leg in, kind of hover there, and then strong, push back through. And again, it's all about moving slow and intentional, and that hold at the top, just right there, just that little pause right at the top there. You're going to feel it not only in the leg that you're lifting, but also you might feel a surprising amount of muscle talking to you from the leg that is supporting you on the ground, because it's also working. Your whole body's working here. Just 3 more repetitions. And here's our last one. Good, now we're going to do that on the opposite side. So take a second to stretch out if you want to. You can always take extra breaks if you need to, and we'll start on that other side. So that foot ready, you're poking up. The pause at the top. So make sure you're not letting you're not getting lazy in your arms there, you know, your scapula poking out like crazy, or for your chest to cave. Try to keep nice, clean body form through the whole thing. Have 4 more. Here's our last 2. And 1 more. So now we're going to switch up the range of motion just a little bit again. Kind of what we did on our side, only this time we're upright. So we're going to be doing a fire hydrant this time. So holding everything in place where it is, just lifting up the leg as much as you can control without compensating throughout the rest of your posture. So I don't want to see you like open up your whole body or change your arm position. You're staying facing the ground, and just open that one side. Keep everything else as static as possible. No swinging, and only go up as far as you can without pain or without using momentum. It doesn't count if you're throwing your leg to take it up there. repetitions here. We'll switch to that other side. Last 2. All right, so again, take a second, do whatever you need to between repetitions, shake it out anywhere you're feeling it, and we'll do that on the opposite side. So same thing, plant those hands and hinging on that opposite side. So just like with the other exercises, inhale during the easy part while you're lowering that leg, and then exhale during the part where you're exerting yourself. So wherever you're working the hardest is typically where you want to exhale. Got 4 more after this. You don't have to move at my pace either. You can move at any pace you want to. There's no judging. No one's judging. All right, here's our last repetition. Okay, so again, stretch out those legs, stretch out your back, wiggle it out if you like in between sets, and now we're going to go right into another similar exercise. Again, just a little tweak here. Instead of going straight out behind the body, we're going to go at an angle again. So not out directly behind the body, but kind of out and behind. There's 2. So again, where you're kind of sticking the landing, you're just holding it there for just a second, just as long as your endurance allows, and then letting it back down. So again, try not to, like right now, I can feel myself when I get distracted, my posture starts to change. I start to lean and I start to compensate. So try to stay mindful and try to keep your posture good. And also make sure to mind your breathing pattern. Again, it's inhale during that easy part, exhale as you press back up. And here's our last one. And we'll do that same thing on the opposite side. So drop it real quick, stretch it out if you need to, and we'll get started on that other side right away. Okay, same thing. Here we go. 10 more repetitions. We'll get a quick water break. There's 1. All right, there's our halfway point. Keep it going. If you can, if your form's still clean, try to push yourself. Just 3 more. 3. No need to rush it, right? We can take our time. 2. Hold it. And here's our last one right here. Alright, okay, so we're going to take a very quick water break. Don't drink too much water until you're done with your workout. Otherwise, take a quick second and we'll get right back into it. Alright guys, let's go ahead and push through the second half of this routine. We're starting on the floor again with a bridge. So we're going to have our weight in our shoulders and our back here. And we're going to be pressing up through our heels to lift our torso and bum off of the ground. So you're going to be taking a deep breath in and then exhaling as you press up. Again, kind of with that hold at the top there. So you're lowering down, never resting on the floor unless you really need to. In between repetitions, press up, and there's rep number 2. So inhale on the way down, and exhale as you press back up. So you want to focus on squeezing your glutes. You want to focus on pressing through your heels. If you want to make it harder, you can put your arms up in the ground or up in the air just to make a little bit of extra balance challenge. You can also do this just one leg at a time. So again, pick your poison, make it work for you. Halfway through right here. 3 more. And here's our last one right here. All right, hold, slowly lower to the ground, and then we're going to flip over real quick to work the opposite side of our body. So we're going to do a back fold. So we're only going to lift the top of our bodies off the ground, so you just feel this right in your lower back here, through your upper back if you keep your arms nice and strong here. So we're lifting up, hold for just a second, and slowly lay back down. So same breathing pattern, exhale on the way down, or exhale on the way up, inhale as you rise back down. And you want to focus on that pause at the top. Again, just kind of short pause, as long as you can tolerate, and then lower back down smoothly. Never resting at the bottom unless you need to. There's our halfway point. If you want to, you can make this harder by extending your arms out. Makes your upper body heavier to lift off the ground. You can also add in your legs if you're feeling confident. Whichever way you want to go. Just a few more repetitions here. Alright, now we're going to flip back over and go back to the bridge, this time with a modification to make it harder. So if you found the bridge, the regular bridge hard the first time, feel free to stick with that. Otherwise, we're going to be pressing up, and while we're here, go ahead and extend one leg nice and strong, and then tuck it back in, and then we're going to lower. So there's one repetition. So hover over the ground, press back up slowly, extend that leg, keep it strong, and then tuck it back in. There's 2. So for this, we want to make sure that you are keeping your core nice and tight and that you're not changing the orientation of your body as you lift that leg out. Because if you find that one side is really drooping or dropping, or you can't control it, if you can't keep your body strong in that bridge, because that's the challenge, right? You're moving when you're stabilizers. But if you can't keep your body stabilized while you have that leg extended, then just go ahead and stick with the regular bridge for now. And if you can try a couple repetitions like this and keep your form clean, then do that, and then just stop when you get tired, or just go back to the easier version. But it's all about kind of adjusting and making it work for you. Like I said, it's better to do it right, better to do the easier version right than it is to do the hard version, a harder version, or more repetitions wrong, or with poor form. So then you're just asking for an injury. All right, we have one more on each side here. And then we're going to stand up. Extend and hold. Tuck back in. And lower to the ground. Alright, that's our last of those. So, now we're jumping back up, and we have got some squats in line for ourselves. I'm going to toss this out of the way. There we go. And okay, so we're gonna do some squats. So this is all about your where you are at. So you can add weights if you want, do a total body weight. You can go as low as you need to. Make sure your form is clean. Otherwise, we're just gonna go down, keep your weight in your heels, back nice and flat, and press up through the heels. Good. So back, down. There's 2. So just like with the other ones, where focus is hovering here at the bottom of the top, and exhaling is through the hard part as we press back up. So inhale on the way down, exhale on the way back up. Keep your core nice and tight. Don't let your shoulders round, and only go as low as you can control. If your knees start wobbling, your back starts rounding, any of those things, you are going too deep. You don't have the control to control that range of motion yet, so that's okay. You just need to adjust. That's our halfway point. Really squeeze those glutes on the way up. Here's 9. And our last one. Keep everything nice and tight, squeeze. All right, there's 10. So now we're gonna do a standing version of the lateral movement we were doing earlier, and that's with side steps. So shake out your legs if you like. Just do a little bit, so loosen them up if you need to. Otherwise, we're gonna go back and forth, sinking down into as deep as the squat, again, as you can control. We're just gonna go back and forth. So a side step. So you're not coming up from that squat. There's number 2 repetitions right there. So each side will count. There's 3, 4. Keep it going. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Just a few more repetitions here. There's 8. You can always come up for a break if you need it. Otherwise, keep your form nice and clean. Stay as low as you can. All right, and I think that was 10. We'll throw in an extra one. Nothing wrong with an extra one, right? All right, there we go. So shake out your legs. Again, quick breather, whatever feels good. And now we're gonna do a side lunge just to round out our all of the angles that we've hit here today. So again, as deep or as shallow as you need to feel it, and as long as you can control it. So you're keeping legs straight, and then come back up. So you're bending this leg, leaving this one straight, and you should feel it in this leg that you are bending. There's 2. Count 1 rep on each side here. Keep it going. Keep your head up, belly pulled in, nice and tight. Make sure you're not, your posture is nice and clean here. All right, here's our halfway point. We've done 5 on each side. Again, this is another opportunity where you can add weights or you can cut out early. You can do whatever you need to do. There's 6. This is our last exercise. 7. All right, just a couple more on each side. Try not to lock out your knees in between repetitions. Keep them soft. So you're just gliding from one side to the other. And here's our last rep on each side. All right, so we have made it to our cool down and stretch. So even on light routines like this one, it's important that you stretch. So take a second to check in with yourself personally and find out, again, just like with the warm-up, is there anything that needs a little extra tension? Anywhere I'm feeling tight? Because we're going to do a general quick warm-up here. Always feel free to do extra cool down. So we'll start off with a quad stretch. So if you have a wall, find one. I have one. It's white, believe it or not. There's one here. And then just pull your foot up towards your butt. So you feel a nice stretch through the front of your thigh there. We'll just hold that for about 20 seconds here. And just like with the stretches are just like with the exercise. They're all a question, and you might get a different answer from your body every single day. So it's important to stay open to whatever your body is telling you. So, you know, maybe a muscle is stiff today that wasn't stiff yesterday or last week, but that's okay. Things change. Our bodies are constantly changing. So it's important that we stay open and receptive to what they are telling us. All right, so go ahead and switch sides. Grab that foot. All right. And then just enjoy some nice deep breaths while you're here, because you got your workout done, and that's a great thing. All right, so next up we're going to do a standing hamstring stretch. So just a little bit of, again, if you need support from the wall, a little bit of bend in your knee, flex your toe up at yourself, and then sink down until you feel not only a stretch in your calf, but also a stretch in the back of your hamstring here. And then just sit, find your comfortable place, and then just let that stretch, enjoy that stretch. You can lean down towards your toes if that feels good, if you want to feel it through your lower back. All right, switch sides, and look for that stretch in that leg, that straightened leg. You can also do this lying down if you like. right, so next up, I'm gonna go to a warrior. I'm gonna keep it nice and shallow for myself, but you can do whatever you need to for yourself to feel a good stretch through the upper body, your core, and your hip flexor here, through the front of that hip joint. Make sure you keep your shoulders down and away from your ears. Stay comfortable while enjoying that stretch. And you might find after you've been in a stretch a little while that you can push a little bit further and your muscles will allow a little bit deeper range of motion. So move gently and carefully, but go ahead and when your body gives you that, when your body allows that, go ahead and take it carefully. All right, switch sides. Sink back. Some nice deep breaths. All right, let that relax. Then we'll go for the inside of the thigh. I'm gonna do an inside thigh stretch. So kind of like the side lunge that we did, only you're just focusing on stretching this leg here. And you can go as low as you need to feel that. Sometimes it just takes a little bit, and you can lean into it if you like. Now let's kind of smooth over to the other side. All right, so next up we're going to do the IT band stretch, which is going to look sort of similar. You can put your foot behind yourself so that you get a little bit of angle on this leg, and then lean away so that you feel a nice stretch through the whole side of your body here, as well as down the outside of your thigh. So this is the part of the day, this is the part of your workout that you should really try to bottle and keep for yourself so that you know you can reference it when you don't feel like working out. You can say, yeah, but remember how good I feel when I do. And a lot of times it can help you push through and actually start a workout. Go ahead and switch sides. So just remembering how good you feel when you exercise. Remembering, maybe not, I'm not saying HIIT feels like a walk in the park or it's the greatest feeling in the world. It does feel pretty good, but when you're done, you feel so relaxed and so, there's just so much more ease and everything and so much less stress. And you feel accomplished. So remember that and seek that out when you're feeling less motivated. All right, next up we're going to drop down to the ground. We're going to do a kneeling calf stretch. So right here, I'm going to just set that foot up so that you're not going to touch the ground with your heel, but you're pretending like you're trying to, and that should give you a good stretch through your calf. All right, switch sides. Okay, now we're going to slowly drop down to the floor and press up for a Cobra to get a nice core stretch here. In the front of our stomachs. Go up only as far as you can without any pain, without any straining. You might even find that maybe you just set yourself up like this. And make sure you keep your shoulders down and away from your ears. You don't want to hunch up. Just get a nice stretch through the core. All right, now take a deep breath and let it all out and know that you just finished your workout for the day. So, or part of your workout for the day at least, depending on what you're doing. So I just wanted to thank you for working out with me, for tackling this workout with me. I'm really happy to be back. I really missed you guys, and I can't wait to do this more and be here and tell you, just like I am going to now, workout complete. Thank you guys for being here. I'll see you again soon with a new workout.